Hi there, this is Kathy Crow here at the Crow Cottage. Ooh, that was bright. Sorry. Didn't realize that was so bright. I haven't been in for a while. I'm sorry. Jeff is here a lot, and we are vacationing off and on and doing fun things. We got to go to that David, I posted it on Jeff's page. That David production in Branson is fabulous. That is the Sight and Sound Theater. So if you've never been there, that's an aside from what we're doing today. I'm actually doing the Submarine Life today, but I'm also going to throw in that embossing folder. But that Sight and Sound Theater, if you've never been to that, you have to. There's one in Pennsylvania. There's one here, and I don't know if there's another one, but. It's just an unbelievable live production with animals and real people and special effects that are fantastic. Lots of wonderful music. So anyhow, really a high quality production. Today I'm trying to catch up because I haven't been able to be here. So I am going to show you that embossing folder really quick. And then I'm going to do this. The Submarine Life is not brand new, but it is new to me. I haven't done it before, and I've had a lot of fun with it. More than I thought I would, like lots more. And I just wanted to show you how easy it is. This is a really good one for kids. I did not think it would be. And it actually has a punch. I'll have to hunt that down. I forgot to drag that over here to the desk. But it's super easy to do, super easy. So you'll have fun with that. I hope you have fun with me. Make sure you share and like and all of that stuff. I really do appreciate it. Kind of keeps me in business. And you can see I do have a website there. That website, I try to keep the videos that I have done on there. They're not always the easiest thing to find, I suppose. And I do have a newsletter that comes out every week, although that might be changing just because our retirement status is such that I am not always going to be available to do this. This is just one of those things that I kind of knew was going to happen when we moved to Springfield, and I think it's happened a little bit sooner than I expected it to happen. But it's good. I've enjoyed myself. It's been wonderful. I've actually gotten a lot more time out in our garden too, which has been so sweet. I love doing that. All right, so I will just keep chatting about some of the things that's going on in the Stampin' Up world as we go. So this is what I did in our our newsletter this week. That's what I plan to show you. But I did want to show you what I did before because I said I was going to, and I just didn't do. I didn't have time to. This is not a new set either. It is available in the new catalog, the new annual one. But I don't know if I've even done this online with you. I might not have, but because it was one that I just never got to. There were so many things in that catalog that I just didn't get to this one, I don't think. I don't remember. But I do love all the tools, but because I think I had already done it, I'm sure I did. Well, I know I did. I just don't think I did a video with it. But these are the tools that were actually in the DSP, and I'm not 100% sure that this DSP is available still. We were able to get a pretty good bargain on it last year. I think they did a celebration with this, so I have quite a lot. And the tools are not necessarily the colors I would do, but for the basics, they are. So I just went ahead and cut out the tools to put on this. But I did want to show you what sentiment I used, because I used this cut above. This is an old one, very old. I have no idea what year. I keep telling myself, remember to put the year on these, and I always forget, so I'd have to look it up online. You know, one thing you can do if you're trying to find a sentiment, just go to Google and type it in. You're a cut above the rest, comma, Stampin' Up, comma, Father's Day, you know? It would show you this stamp set. I guarantee you would see it in here. So in the what was it? It was the turtle one, the Turtley Awesome one. I used this. You make the world look better and the grass look greener, because that was perfect for that. It also would be good for the Is Your Day to Relax. This one just is a really good sentiment set. I thought I would use this more, and I haven't. I knew I would probably not use the mower guy. Him with hands doing something else I might use. But I don't think many men like to be reminded of lawn mowing. I mean, maybe they do, because we have so much lawn here in Missouri that I think a lot of guys escape the house that way and enjoy going out because they have a ride-on mower and they just can ride around. It's very relaxing. But other than that, I don't know. So, but I do want to show you this dotted circles because it's so cool. But you do have to know a couple of things. So since I'm not going to make the whole card and all, I'm going to put the trusty tools away, and I'm also going to put this away. I was going to show you how I had done this, and I'd used a Bible verse for this one. This is an oversized one so that I could get all of these wonderful planets on it. And I was going to use this, but I won't be today. Okay, when you cut out anything, or when you emboss anything with this, you can see this is a very giant embossing folder. So it cuts, or it embosses a lot for you. But when I was doing this, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this blue because I had to hunt down in my cardstock supply some white core paper. Now this is not Stampin' Up. Stampin' Up did do some white core DSP. I think it was the last 2 years they did, but I don't think it's available anymore. If it is, I would buy theirs because their colors would coordinate with what I was working with. But I have also got paper on the side that I use. Like this is something that Michelle gave me. Thank you, Michelle. And I'm using the red side, and it has a white core. So if you don't know, just buy some cheap cardstock that looks like very thin. It needs to be thin, and it also needs to be a color that's pretty close. Like Night of Navy is something you can find pretty close to ours. But all you need to do is just look to see if it has a white core. You can kind of see it wherever it's frayed, or if you're not sure, just tear it. And then there you go. If you've got only one piece, you haven't really wasted any, and you've torn it, you can know it is a white core paper. That just means the top and the bottom are dyed, but that inner one is not. And that's what you need to get the effect you want with this dotted circles. This one is, when I saw the circles, I knew I wanted to have this for, I've torn it on both places. Isn't that funny? Because obviously I was testing it to see if it was, you know, a white core, and I tore it, and then I just now tore it again. It doesn't matter. This is not paper that I probably did pay for this one. It's probably not a freebie from someone, but it comes in a big pack. You can buy these in one of those big multicolored packs, and it's not expensive. All right, dotted circles. So all you're gonna do is make sure you have your white core. Now let me remove these things because this is for today's stuff, and put my embossing machine over here. Okay, let's get it in position. And then to emboss, of course, you do need to have your plates that you can fit them on. These are, I like these, they're 3D, but they're not as thick as some. Some of the thick 3Ds we've had have just been so thick that I have to hunt and peck to find the right sandwich, you know, to send through here. But this one just takes that regular embossing folder, embossing plate that came with the machine, I believe, or maybe it's one that I bought, I don't know, but it's a Stampin' Up item. It actually came from Stampin' Up. Now, when you are embossing and you're doing this manual machine, you need to be able to put that through pretty easily. What you saw, that kind of muscle that I just used, that is your maximum muscle. Don't force anything bigger than that through, or you're going to regret it, because you're going to have ruined your tension. Okay, so now when you take this out, you can see it's already gotten some white on it, which is what I want. Because I want to be able to see this. I don't want to ink it. And then I just take an emery board. Any old emery board will do. Just rub it on. You could use a little sanding paper. If you use sanding paper, though, you do want it to have a flat surface. So you'd want to have a little sanding block, you know, that you would attach it to before doing that. But if you just sand this a little bit, you can get those dots as white as you want them. You don't want to go so far that you've cut it. Like that one actually cut through that paper just a tiny bit when I ran it through the embossing machine. I mean, these thinner ones that are not Stampin' Up! Cardstock will do that. Sometimes we have thin enough cardstock that will happen with ours too, but not very often. All of our regular solid colors are very thick cardstock. Now I will throw this one away because I usually have my nails done and with Color Street, and so I get, you know, they put one of those in every pack. So I always have an abundance of those emery boards laying around because I don't need one for every single time I do the nails. But look at that, isn't that pretty? So now that would be really good if we weren't doing a submarine. If I wanted to do a little boat, you know, on the ocean, that would be perfect. But today we are doing a submarine, and I do not want a submarine going down, down, down into these swirly depths. So we're not going to be using that piece. I'm putting that all away, and we're moving on. That was just to show you what I'd done before. So we're done with this because I'm not going to be using that today either. We're going to just start with white. And I'm going to use Night of Navy and Calypso Coral. And then to get a nice green for our seaweed, I'm going to use Retired Parakeet Party. And then for our water, I'm going to do Boho Blue. Now, I am going to do our water the correct way. I don't know why I do things upside down, but I actually kind of liked it. Okay, so I did the water upside down. Didn't really even realize it until I'd looked at several cards to see what other ideas I wanted to do with this set. And realized I should have put the water going this way, but I actually kind of liked it this way because I wanted to see waves. And this, you see waves, but they're pointy waves. And I wanted, I don't know why. The image shows it the way it's supposed to be, so who knows? I usually don't look at the box itself a lot. I just kind of pick it up and go with it. And that's one of the reasons I like to stamp, is that there is no perfection to it. You're going to get better the more you do it, so just keep doing it. If you enjoy it, it's fun, I think, so just keep doing it. And you will get better at it. And then even if you do something upside down, you can always just make it work or just do it again. It's not that expensive. Some hobbies are so expensive. The stuff you use is so expensive that you cannot, just start all over afresh. It's going to be really rough on your pocketbook if you do. But this is not. Now, this one is a photopolymer stamp set. That means you can see right through it, and I love that. So that means I can see everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to decide how we're going to put our colors. I actually do want a Night of Navy sub. So that's why I have my Night of Navy out here. I do kind of want a contrast color though. So I think the background is actually going to be this background, the matte, the front of my card, underneath this. I might have a matte. I might do Calypso Coral and Night of Navy. I haven't really decided yet. I'm kind of thinking it's going to go like this. I could have it go like that, but I just don't know. I haven't really decided. So I'm keeping these options out. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to stamp my sub and see if I like it in Night of Navy. I might not. I might not even like it. And then in that case, we will be going with a whole different, we'll go with Calypso Coral because it could do that too. But I think what I want is to have these colors. This was Azure Afternoon, and this I think is actually Groovy Guava. It could be Peach, Pie, but I think I actually use Groovy Guava because I kind of like that one just a hair better. And Yeah, I really like Azure Afternoon. It makes a nice water background, but I'm doing Night of Navy today. No, I'm not. I forgot. I got out Boho Blue, and we're going to probably do that, but I might just do a stamped off version of Night of Navy because that might work better. I think it will. But I needed these other colors because I want to show you how fun it is to let kids just kind of stamp like crazy with these objects because they're fun. All right, here, let's go. I have already done in Pebble Path the little rotor there, and the little spyglass. Okay, so those are already done and punched for me. And I was going to do this color sub and had that punched, and then I just changed my mind. I decided I've done a green, and that one was probably summer. What is the summer one? I cannot keep track of the colors. Like they come every year. Every year we get new colors. My brain doesn't work that fast. I mean, I'm just barely getting one memorized, and then we've got new ones again. I'm over here trying to find my submarine punch and not seeing it offhand. Where did you go to? I usually keep these things in some order, and of course I didn't with this one. Why not? I don't know why not. Boy, where did you go? I'll bet I left it out so I wouldn't have to hunt for it. So let's see if it's over here. I'll look for it later, I guess, because I'm just not seeing it. Submarine punch. Where did you go? You couldn't have gone far, and I don't see you. So, that is very mysterious. Because I thought it'd be like, in a whole bunch of places that it's not. But anyway, we're gonna just go ahead and stamp. And then I won't worry. If I have to, I'll just cut it out, and then you'll have to imagine the punch. It's punching it is not hard, and believe me, you can imagine it pretty easily. Now, because it's photopolymer, I don't even need my stamparatus. Normally, I might need a stamparatus to get the kind of impression I want, but I think if I really have to re-ink this again, I think I'll be able to just do it. Now, if I'm a little concerned about how this photopolymer is going to just stamp right down on straight paper like that, if I am concerned at all, which I probably should be, I can always get one of my, I thought they were handy, but they're not. Yeah, where are you? A foam mat. I should have one right here. In fact, I thought I did, like handy, because I, sometimes need a foam mat to stamp on, but they're all over here, and so there we go. So here's just any old foam mat. You can get it anywhere you need. Just to be on the safe side, I'll use it, and I've already smudged some ink there, so. All right, we'll ink it again one more time. Here we go. All right, now, since I have that foam mat under there, I probably don't have to stamp too hard. To see what a nice, strong impression that is? Like, that's so strong, I don't even like it. So we're going to go one more without inking again and see what that looks like. I think I like that better. That one's okay, but whew, that's almost like Secret Sea strength. That it is just Night of Navy, just super dark. So you just decide what you like, because I do want to do on this one, I'm going to be doing a whole lot of, we call that stamping off. If you stamp and then stamp in the second generation or third generation or any even later, you can keep stamping. Sometimes that's the color you want, is the lighter one of the same ink. So you can get a whole bunch of different colors with the same ink. Well, not colors, I shouldn't have said that, but you can get a lot of different shades, that's it. Now I've got to find that punch that's driving me crazy. Where are you? My stamp set was right where I thought I'd left it. So why is not the punch also right where I thought I'd left it? because I had it right here, handy. And I don't see you up here. I rearranged my desk again here. That sometimes these things happen when I do that. That's always a big mistake, to rearrange things. Okay, it's got to be here. Huh. This is just very peculiar. Well, I guess I'm gonna find it. I know, as soon as I'm finished and I'm cleaning up, I'm gonna find that punch and wonder why I couldn't see it since it was right, here it is. It's right there in front of my face. All right, so now we're back in business. All right, so take your punch. I'm gonna see which way is I'm gonna be putting it in this way. So I'm gonna go like this and like that, and then I'm gonna save that little scrap for other things. And this is the one we want. My only complaint about this punch is that I kind of would have liked the windows out, because if you want those windows out to do something like a shaker card or something with it, you know, it's a little inconvenient, because you can get a paper punch that's about that size and all, but who's gonna do that? But isn't that nice? So you've got your nice little submarine punch. If you can put it in a spot that you can find it, it's super easy to do. And I did decide, we're gonna just use our white paper as a background for stamping, and we're gonna just stamp like crazy now. This is so fun. You will love this one. I guarantee it. Anyway, all right, so I'm gonna leave my cards here so I kind of have an idea of placement. Do I want it like this landscape like this, or portrait like this? The trouble is, it was hard for me to fit all of my little creatures on this one. So I think we're gonna go this direction. And although I'm gonna end up cutting this down, because this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I need it to be smaller to fit on my 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card and still have my nice color backgrounds bringing all the colors together, I'm still gonna go ahead and stamp with it like this size. It's best to have some size on the sides to peel away. If you want to do various things. I'm going to get out, let's see if I need all of my blocks. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use, so I'm going to just put a variety out. First of all, I want to do my water, and I think I am going to go ahead and do a stamped off version of this. Do I want the water the same color as my sub though? You know, I think I don't. I'm gonna test my boho blue is about the same, I think, in hue as Night of Navy. So we're gonna test that out because I'm not 100% sure. So just get a piece of cardstock or a scrap paper. I'm just gonna use a folded up piece of scrap paper here that I can do a stamp off with, and grab my water. Now it has a sandy bottom, which is nice, but I'm gonna apply that at the end. I don't need to worry about that right now. We're gonna go ahead and just start at the top and go with the water first. And because sometimes these little skinny photopolymers get stuck on kind of crooked, I'm gonna just lay it down here so it's nice and straight and put my block on it. And then we're gonna go ahead and stamp up. I need room at the top of this for my sentiment. So you do kind of have to have an idea which one of these you're gonna use. These are great that are right here on the set. You're probably not going to want to have, you don't need to have another. I usually use other stamp sets for sentiments. I mean, that's frequently what I do, but in this case, you've got these two, well, actually these three. They're perfect for this set. So I just need to make sure they fit in. So I think I'll start my water down here just in case I, you know, don't have enough room. Let's see. We'll do the stamped off one and see what I think. I actually kind of like that for having it with my sub. The colors are not going to jar. If you get too many different colors, it starts to get too busy. So let's try our Balmy Blue. And there's the dark one, and then there's the, I like the lighter. So Balmy Blue. Oh boy, I think I'm leaning to all of them actually, because what I want is an effect. So I'm going to go ahead and do my Night of Navy first, and I do want this to be pretty straight. Okay, so let's get this as straight as I possibly can. Oops, I did it again. I did it again where the waves are going whoop, 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 instead of whoop, whoop, whoop. What a ding dong. I didn't want to do it that way today, so I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice that piece. And let's grab another one. And we'll do it the correct way this time. Okay. So silly. All right, there. And it's kind of crooked. Well, you just want to kind of match up one of those. Now that's not bad. I kind of like that. And then we'll just keep this and go, we're going to go down just a little bit here, like that. Okay. And we're going to do one more, like here. And there. Do you see what I'm saying? This is the first generation. This is the second generation. That's the third, and I could do a fourth. But I actually am going to put some of that Balmy Blue in too. I kind of liked it. So I just cleaned that off, and we're going to do a second generation of Balmy Blue and see what it looks like in comparison. Don't do it in exactly the same space as far as points. You want your points to be maybe, you know, off just a little bit to what, oops, I did the wrong one, not that one. I want this one right here. All right, so Jeff is voluntarily upstairs on his own while I'm doing this, and so I'm hoping that he's not too bored up there without me. I don't know. We'll find out later. Okay, so now I've got a lot of water going on here. You might not have wanted that much water, but that's what we ended up with. And so in that case, what we're going to want to make sure we do is have our little sub covering up maybe one of the messier parts that you didn't want to see. Like this is kind of dark. It's kind of dark there. I might cover this one up so I can cover my little one here. And then I'm still going to have room for my little octopus. Whatever your alternate colors are, you have to be able to see the animal really well without this water, you know, interfering with its image. And so that's one reason that I didn't do as much of this watery thing on my cards as I just did, but we're gonna just stick with it since I've already had flubbed it once. I don't really need to labor on it. And I wanted to show you it's fun. It's fun. If you let the kids just do their waves either direction, you can see it's not gonna matter a bit. It can go any way you want it to. All right. Now the other thing I want to do is I want to do my little bottom of the bed, and I want to do that with it can be pebble, you know, it could be a pebble path one that's a gray, or I think I'm going to actually do crumb cake. It's kind of a grayish brown, And pecan pie is good, but it's very, very, it's very brown. And if I can find my plum cake, there they are, just misplaced. We're gonna do that because I'm gonna need to have this to stamp off some. We're gonna start like right here. Let's see, it's kind of greenish. No, that's all right. We're gonna do the second generation of it. We're gonna go like this. And then we're gonna go like this. And like this. Now remember, I'm gonna trim that bottom bit some. So that is a little flubbed up, but I think I'm gonna live with it just as it is. I did kind of like my gray better. I did Pebble Path, I believe, with that, and I think I prefer it. I don't know what it is about my inks. Are they just mine? I always seem to feel like they go to green. Some of these colors, like you're going to green, and I don't want you to go to green at all. All right, now we're gonna have to put you down a little because I want to be able to see that watery tail. Now that's actually not a watery tail, but that's what I'm making it. This is, it's this piece. It's actually seaweed, but I kind of like it to be this little watery tail. So what we're gonna do is grab out that boho blue again. That's why you need to decide where your little sub is gonna go. We're gonna stamp that off. I think, yeah, stamping it off once will be fine. And then we're gonna move you. And I should have been more careful about my ink because look at you. You're gonna have to be somewhat covered there now. And so we will do the sub there. Okay, to cover up the fact that I've got this little flub going. I pushed too hard down into my ink pad. I just pushed too hard and it got ink in the wells. And so you just have to be cautious and not do that. Don't push down too hard and it won't do that. See all the things you find out what not to do. Oh, the bubbles. We'll leave this out. We're gonna do this for the bubbles. For the animals, the little sea creatures. They're so cute. All right, now we're gonna get to do the sea creatures. No, before we do the sea creatures, I wanna put my sea bed in so that I know where to put my sea creatures. I'm gonna use this same watery thing and we're gonna do do Parakeet Party. It's nice and bright. I'm gonna test it first to make sure it's not too bright. I like it. Okay, so we're gonna put that here on the side, like right on top of that. I pushed again and got it in the wells, but thankfully this time it didn't mess it up. I've got to be more careful because I don't want that ink in the wells. So we're gonna do it one more time because I kind of want it to be a stamped off version too, right there. And then we're gonna put our darker little seaweed. This is our more like a agave type seaweed. Do you know the names of the different seaweeds? I sure don't. That's not the kind of thing I would know. I've never lived all that close to the ocean. So. All right, so there we go. I did it again. I see it in the wells. And it's not gonna matter with this, but yeah, I'm just pushing too hard. I'm gonna get rid of my peacock, my parakeet party. You're causing me grief. All right, and then we want our, oh, I do need to go get gray. I've got to have Pebble Path. I like that one for the gray. Pebble Path is dark, but it's still easy to see. It's more of a brownish gray, so I kind of like it better than just our basic gray for gray. All right, so we're gonna do our little octopus. Where are you? You're so cute. There you are. So the octopus, I know, it's easy to mess him up by pushing too hard. So I'm making sure I'm tapping it really lightly there and checking my wells, and they seem just fine. Let me position my sub again where I'm going to keep him. So now we know I can get my little guy here. We're going to push him on here. See how he covers up that water really well? So you don't have to worry about just stamping right on the little watery waves you've done. And I like that. And then I think we'll do the little grouping of fish. Let's do the larger of the little grouping of fish. We're gonna have them swimming. I still have to, I'm not putting this on, obviously, but I do want to keep it in mind to see kind of where I'm putting stuff. We're gonna put these little guys down here. Oh, they're so cute. Jeff and I have found a new show to watch that we really like. And it's, I can't remember what it is called. It's a couple in Bentonville, Arkansas, though, and on Amazon Prime, and we love it. It's off of probably our Discovery Channel, I suspect is what we're getting it from, but she has these little farm animals that she takes care of, and they're absolutely, I mean, they're so cute, you know, yeah, just super cute. I think to balance this, do I need any more gray? I don't think so, because these are going to have some gray on it, and I think it's going to be good. The only thing is I'm wondering if I need more watery stuff going on here. I kind of think I do. I'm going to use my little boho blue. We're going to take this little watery thing. That's actually our seaweed. I'm going to be really careful not to push too hard. I'm going to stamp off 2 times. And we're just going to do a little more. Just I think that one will be plenty. And it just gives me that little extra watery bit. I might want it down here too. Okay. Just to keep our kind of watery look going. I'm going to stamp that 2 times and go there. All right, so now I think we've got our water kind of moving around here, and it doesn't look quite so much like I just did it in that one spot. Again, so I'm showing you this because this is a set that you can kind of just turn kids loose with, and whatever they come up with is going to be really nice. Let's do our Calypso coral for our other little animals, and these definitely going to have to stamp off because I know I re-inked this a long time ago, and every time I use it, it's like super inked up. Here's the cute crab. He's really nice. So we're going to see how, yeah, he's pretty dark. I might have to go with a whole different color here because this is so inky. I kind of like him though, just the way he is. So we're gonna put him here. Oh man, he turned out really pretty good. His little claws. Oh, that eye is kind of messed up, but that's okay. If you do mess it up, you can always just stamp it on another piece, fussy cut it out, and it'll be all good, all good. The other thing that you can do if you're super paranoid is you can take a white gel pen if it's working, and you can probably put that little highlight right back in where it got off. All right, now we need, oh, those other fish. There's the fish that has his little air tube going as well, which I think is just a really clever thing to do here with this set. Yeah, that is the one. Okay, this one, we definitely want that one stamped off. And we'll put you here, right? Oh, you're gonna have to be full strength because I need you like right over this water. So you can kind of see the water through him a little bit. Like I said, I pulled those down just a little too far. And so we're doing that. And let's do the little starfish. Okay, this one we will stamp off, and we'll put you here, like there, and I think we might put one over here. Oops, I didn't get his arm in. Ah, that's unfortunate. There, now his little arm is in. Now, did you see? It still looks good, and I had to stamp it 2 times. It's because these photopolymer ones, you can just do that. You can see where you're working, you can do that. There's some little tiny fish. They're in a little grouping. Where are you? There's the big ones. They aren't in here. Uh-oh, I don't know. Oh, no, there they are. I thought maybe I got them out of another set, but there they are. Sometimes I do that. I get other sets going, and then I don't even realize what I'm doing. Okay, do that, do that. Oh, so cute. I think that's all we need of the little tiny fish. And you can have them going the other way too, you know. You can have them going either way. Doesn't really matter. And the bubbles. I think the bubbles are all that I have room for. I did on the card that I kind of liked the hello, hello, hello on it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that, but I won't do it in, I don't think I want to do it with Calypso Coral. I'm going to put my colors together on it first and come up with what I think will work better. I need to do the bubbles for sure, because the bubbles are, I think, one of the cutest little parts of this set are these little bubbles. Oh, I did forget the little snail. Let's do him in blue. It'll work fine. I do want the little snail. He's so cute. Let's stamp you off. And we'll get your little snail body in there. And little snail. There's birds, so you can always put the birds up in the sky. That's kind of nice to do too while we have our boho blue out. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna do 1 and I'm gonna do 1 down here. Okay, we're gonna just do those 2. Now there is a flag, and I didn't do the flag. I didn't want to fussy cut it out, and I didn't want to stamp something and have my sub like this unattached kind of to it, and so did not use the flag. Other than that, I think I'm using just about everything here. There's the bubbles, so we definitely need to stamp the bubbles off. And just 1 time, it looks like, with our balmy blue. And then we're gonna just go, let's go there. Anywhere where there's a, I'm gonna go there. Anywhere where you've got your little air pipes from your little sea creatures. You want those little air bubbles. I think that's probably good. All right, there we go. So there's our air bubbles. I don't have room for my octopus ones. And that is that. Now we're ready to assemble. I'm gonna do my colors, you know, set those up and see which sentiment I want. And then we'll be almost finished. It's a quick little card, super cute. All right, so now I need to trim it. And before I trim it, I do need to see the colors again, just to see which direction I want this to go and what needs to be where. So if we put Calypso Coral here and Night of Navy there, and this is gonna be here, what do you think? Not bad. I'm kind of leaning that way. Oftentimes the more predominant color in your image is the one you are going to want the least of on the back. But that's not always true. So I prefer to just look and see each option. before I make a decision. Yep. I want that blue on the back because I really need that. I need that blue to be tied in more, I think, than that. All right, so now I know how I want this. I definitely think just our standard mat size will work, but because I'm going to use 2 mats to tie the 2 colors together, we're going to have to cut this down to 3 7/4, or we're going to have to do 1/8 inch borders. Or I can make my card bigger. That works too. I do know I want this bottom to be cut off some. So I think maybe I'll just do a bigger card because I'm thinking I kind of like these little starfish on the side. They're too cute. So we're going to just go with a bigger card. We're going to the 4-inch mark. That means my card's going to be 4 3/4 basically. And I think I might leave the edge pretty much the way it is. I'm going to take a tiny, tiny bit off here. That was 1/8 of an inch. And now I'm going to just go ahead and put the card right on here and trim. And then my card is not going to be just a standard sized card because I'm making it just a little bit bigger to fit my images. I don't usually do that, but it happens. I think this card would be, this stamp set will make, I haven't looked at any long slim ones, but I do believe this would be so nice on a long slim. You'd have lots of room for all of your little creatures. And Night of Navy. I'm going to give you a little bigger border, I think, since I'm not sticking with a particular size anyway. I'm going to make it a bit bigger for the Night of Navy. Right there. All right, now I've got my little scraps. I'll put these little scraps away. Get that sub out of there in a minute. And then we're just gonna, now that I know what my colors are, I'm gonna stamp that sentiment. So anyway, the David production, you know, like I said, you've got to come down and see it. It was just amazing. And I knew that the giants would be really cool because we've gone to things like that before and they were always really, really neat. I think I'm going to go ahead with Calypso Coral for the color of the font. I wasn't really sure if I wanted Night of Navy or the Calypso Coral. I think it's going to be just fine. And I do think I'm going to do the You Are Sublime is pretty fun, but Floating By to Just Say Hi. It's so cool. I really like it. Now let's hope, since this is pretty dark, hopefully I can get this to stamp really nicely here. Okay, making sure it's nice and straight on there. Oh, nice. So cute. Floating by to just say hi. And since it says that, I want to have those little creatures say hello. And they can, because there's a little hello sign right there that they can say hello in. So we can stamp our little hello. And another hello. Let's do you right here. Oops, I messed up the O. Try to get that in. There we go. Now, when you mess it up, if you ever do, of course you probably never will, but if you ever do, I tipped it because I hadn't got extra ink anywhere else. So I was able to just fix that O without like totally messing up the rest of the words. That doesn't always happen, but it did happen this time. So we'll put our little hello there, and that time I pushed down so much that the H is messed up. You just can't win. If your ink pad is too inky, you see, this is an old-fashioned one. I actually preferred this pad. I think I have a newer Calypso Coral, but I keep getting that one out, and probably accidentally even, but whether it is or not, you know, I keep getting it out. Now I do kind of want my little sub to have grayish windows. So you can't watch. You have to close your eyes now, because Stampin' Up! Does not have a gray that is the gray I want. So I'm having to get out this pen surreptitiously. Our Smoky Slate is pretty close to this, but just a little darker. So we're gonna color that in with my other unnamed pen. And now we have some gray windows there. All right, I don't want to emboss this because I do want it to be clear, and it won't be if I emboss. So I'm going to take my gel pen and just clean up my little breathing tube a tiny bit, get some of that little wave off of there. I see I smudged my thing just a little bit, so I'm gonna do this. Let's see if there's any other that's too much. I can't fix that. The gel pen is only good for like little teeny tiny things that you've messed up. All right, we're set, and now all you need to do is glue. So let's glue it all on there. I'm gonna actually do that on the side, nice and sneaky. Then you're going to actually also, once you've got that set, we're gonna put our dimensionals on the backs of all of that. And you know, the little, what is it? It's the little spyglass. What's that called? It's not called a spyglass. The periscope, that's what it is. The little periscope is big enough that you can easily get it to have one of those little mini dimensionals. So if you have mini dimensionals, this is where they really come in handy. Okay, so I've got my trustier movable glue there that I can move my card around so I can get it exactly perfect where I want it. And again, on our Calypso Coral background, I'll get it on that one too. So this is such a cool set. Now, did you know there's a new catalog coming out soon? Can you believe it? We are already to July. What are you doing for the 4th of July? There's a lot of stuff down here we could do, and it just depends on how energetic I feel on the day of. I never feel like being out late at night. We have so many fireworks right around our house. That we don't ever even need to, but we might. You just never know. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Okay, so here are the minis. So we'll get those out. And here's this little periscope so you can see what I'm talking about. This will fit right on that little periscope. It does not show. Well, if it does show, it's barely. I can even kind of poke it in. That won't show. And then if you're cautious about it, you can always cut it in half, but it's really not necessary. Okay, because these little minis will fit right on here. It's a snug fit, but it'll fit. And I appreciate that. All right, very good. So we've got our little minis done. And then let's grab the bigger ones. I don't have a lot of the bigger ones left. I've got 2 here. I've got 2 here and a whole bunch of edges. I'm going to just peel off some of my edge and stick that on here. All right. Well, let's do one little mini right here. All right. Now we're ready to put these all on, and I'm going to use my little tweezers to get those backs off. I don't think my hands are actually sticky with glue. Imagine that. Why would that be? Usually my fingers are very sticky with glue at this point. All right, anyway, so the new catalog's coming. If you want this set, and if you buy it from me, if you buy $60 worth of any products through me, I guarantee you I will make sure that you are rewarded for that. I do appreciate my customers, and the thing about Stampin' Up! Is that you will get good customer service from us demonstrators, whoever it is that you know and you're ordering from. We do really appreciate it. Now, the little periscope, I think this time I'm going to stick you right here. And then he's kind of blocking that little blank spot right there. I didn't really like that spot on my other cards. And then I'm just going to apply a little glue there to get that to glue on. And then the these little guys, this little rotor is going right on the back. I just finished reading a Rick Brandt science mystery. Have you ever heard of it? There's these old, oh, my fish is being covered up. I'm going to put this in a little far so that my fish doesn't get completely covered up. Oh, you are so cute. Look at that. So that's how easy it is to do. Now, obviously, if your kids that you're working with are little, you would need a lot of supervision on this. But, you know, I've been shocked at how great our little granddaughter is stamping. I could turn her loose with this and she would do a magnificent job all on her own. And this is just the kind of set I bet she'd really like too. So I suspect this one will be going to her eventually. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Have a lovely day. What else? Anything else going on? New catalog coming in July. Make sure you ask for it if you don't have it. If you've already placed an order from me that's $50 or more, $60 or more, I had to raise it because of shipping. It's hard to get a catalog to you under $9, actually. So this little mini one should ship out a little bit cheaper than that. But then you can get one. If you are here in Springfield and you place orders through me, I will be happy to get one to you. And Springfield, Missouri. There's a lot of Springfields out there. Let's see, what else is going on? Oh, online. There are all kinds of online things. Like, there are so many kits, you wouldn't believe it. There's so many kits out there that are really cute. There's the paper pumpkin once a month. There's online exclusives, and I think I've really enjoyed those a lot this year. And there's going to be one every other month, I think. So just keep checking in. There were a lot of things on the clearance rack, but I think that's getting pretty cleared out now. There might still be some things, but something to just keep checking. You never know. And I think that's it. So I'm hoping to be here next week. Don't know if I will be. I will do my best. I have caught up, I think, somewhat with all of the things that I wanted to do. Have a wonderful 4th of July. It's going to be a noisy weekend. So enjoy the little peace and quiet you've got. We had a humdinger of a storm yesterday. Tons of damage all over town. I couldn't believe how many trees were down. Since we've lived here, we haven't seen that many down. As from this little storm, actually, that came through, that wasn't even a tornado warning, but it probably should have been. It was, I don't think, there weren't any tornadoes here, and that I know of, like right here, but lots of damage. Our patio door, the seal somehow got broken on it. It looks fine, and I think it's functional, but we're gonna probably have to replace it. Whatever. Things always happen, huh? Good thing God is so good to us and takes such great care of us. I think that's it. I'll see you later. Have a wonderful week. Bye.